So this portion will be done a little bit differently. And so Mary, this is the first time Mary has talked publicly about her diagnosis. And so we're going to ask some questions. So please bear with us as Mary takes her time to answer the questions, okay? So Mary, the first question that I think we would all want to know is what was happening to you before you got diagnosed? What was your life like? Where did you live and did you work? Those sort of things. Were you married? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before you were diagnosed?
Yes, I could. Let's see, well, I'm 33 years old. I grew up in Sturgeon Lake.
Okay.
I almost forgot where I grew up there. Okay. And then I ran away from home when I was 16 years old because, well, the reserve life wasn't that exciting. And my relationship at the time with my stepmother was not the best at all. So I just packed up and left. I was actually in Calder House, turned 16, and I left home the day of my birthday. And then I house hopped from family to family till I got tired of me. And then I moved out here to Saskatoon. And prior before moving, I met up with my ex and had my first child when I was 18 years old. And he was the light of my life. He still is. And I hope he knows that.
How old is he now, Mary?
15.
15.
Yes. Anyways, and then I moved out here to Saskatoon because my siblings were out here. And I never got to know them growing up, so I thought this would be the perfect time. So then my ex, darn bugger, cheated on me, broke my heart, and I just couldn't live with the pain, which seems really silly now, but my brother was an IV user, so I told him that I wanted to try it. And he begged me not to. But I manipulated him, I guess you could say, saying, well, if you don't give it to me, somebody will. And I don't know what I'll be doing. So then he gave it to me, crying. He cried, actually. After that, I puked my guts out. And then I was numb. I just didn't feel so. So that was my very first time, and after that, I was pretty much suckered in really bad to the drugs.
How many years was that, Mary?
Wow. So I'm 33 now. I've been on methadone for 13. That was only like 2 years at the most.
2 years. What?
So, yeah.
What took you to get tested?
Oh, for my HIV?
For your HIV, yeah.
I got sick, actually. And I just decided to go get Larson House. I was in Larson House, and I got tested there. And then I left. So then the needle van with people outreach, driving around looking for me out here in Saskatoon. And that's who told me that I had HIV was the people handed me the needles. And when I first found out, I was really in shock. I didn't believe it. But I knew a lot about it already. So I wasn't really scared yet. But I was in denial.
Right. How had you educated yourself about HIV?
Prior to that, yes. When I was 18 years ago, I don't know how old I would have been, but math ain't my strong suit. But yeah, 18 years prior to that, I learned about it because of my sister.
Your sister is?
HIV positive, yeah.
So when you were told, what was your reaction? So you said, how did you feel after you got that diagnosis from the nurses in the street van?
first it didn't really sink in, to be honest. It didn't. All I really wanted to do at the time was get high. So I just went on my way like it was a normal day. And then I got really sick again. And I got hospitalized that time. It's for a blood poisoning. And then that's when I actually really noticed that I was sick.
Did someone, when you were in hospital, did someone talk to you about HIV, your HIV and about
No.
starting medicines? No?
Nobody did know.
Okay.
They just pretty much made me feel like I was just an addict. That's how I felt.
Okay. So you got, did you get better from that and got discharged from hospital?
Yeah, I got better than from that, then discharged, yeah.
Okay. And then where did you go?
At that time, I had already lost my children to care. And my ex, 'cause by this time I already had 2 kids. And I had, what was the question again?
Oh, what did you do? Like so you got discharged from hospital.
Oh, what did I do
right?
after
Yeah.
that? Okay, then my ex was in the penitentiary. And I was here in Saskatoon. I had nobody, so I was like, I'm gonna go home to PA. And then that's when I got to know Barb. And Access Place was a place that actually really helped me with being okay.
And so you started going regularly to see the folks at the team
yeah.
at Access Place?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just every day whenever they were open, I used to just walk into the offices, like, even though I wasn't allowed to.
Who helped you get on methadone?
I did. I went and seen Dr. Fern when I was out here in Saskatoon. And he kept me on it, even though I was still doing cocaine and Ritalin. I was just I'm very lucky to be able to still say that I'm on it without being kicked off of it.
Good. So then you went to Access Place, and who did you see at Access Place? Did you see a physician at Access Place, or?
Yes, I did. I think it was Dr. Lanois. But I never really clicked with him. I haven't really clicked with the doctors till Mona Lofty.
Okay. So did they talk to you at the clinic then, like early on, about taking medication?
Yes, and I told them I was ready so many times and I wasn't.
Okay. So would they give you a prescription?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I
And-
filmed them.
Uh-huh.
I
And
kept
then-
getting them because they dispensed it daily with my methadone. And next thing you know it, I'd have 2 garbage bags full of meds. And I was just too ashamed to say I'm not taking them. But I think they knew because my blood work wasn't getting any better.
Yeah. So where did you go from there?
Well, from there I continued my using and prostitution, stealing, things people do to get what they need, especially if they don't have the education. I went to treatment a few times too, but this last treatment center I went to was Cremations, and I met my soulmate. I know they say you're not supposed to 13th step, but I did it. And I don't regret it to this day because I'm marrying him. And then got pregnant, so I just said enough is enough.
So you were at Cremation. Were you discharged from Cremation by this time?
Yeah.
Or you were back at Access Place.
Yes.
So what did Access Place do for you when you were pregnant? Can you tell us how they supported you?
They took me to all my appointments. They talked to me when I needed to be talked to. They made sure resources were there for me when I asked. Just stuff that nurses do, good people do. That care.
Did anybody support you out in the community?
My mom and dad.
Did.
So nowadays, me and my mom are getting along, which is good. Makes makes it much easier on my dad, I bet.
Anybody else? When did you tell folks that you were HIV positive? When did you tell your parents, and how did that go?
I told them right away.
Right away?
Yeah, because, like I said, it wasn't a really big deal when they found out that I had it, because we've already gone through the process of another sibling having it, so it was just like, you'll be okay.
Did you talk to your friends about it? Did you have other supports in the community?
Well, I had my using buddies. Majority of them knew what I was going through. And yeah, but no, I did not have very many straight friends. No.
So when you were pregnant, what kind of feelings did you have? What thoughts?
I was scared.
Okay, you were scared.
Oh man, I forgot to say it. Then I got 4 kids, right? I'm only on number 3. I missed one. Before leaving Saskatoon, I got raped. And I found out I was pregnant. But no, this was about a year before. But I wasn't HIV with her, because I've only had it for 7 years, and she's 8. And now I just had to see that.
Yeah, that's okay. Of course. Yeah. So you were pregnant with this child, and you were going to Access Place, right? And they were supporting you.
Oh yeah, how did I feel?
Yeah.
I was, no matter how many times they would tell me, your son is going to be, your baby, I thought I was having a girl, your baby is going to be okay, Mary, as long as you take your medication. And to be honest, taking my medication was really hard, because I got so sick.
What kind of side effects did you have, Mary?
Nausea.
Nausea, yeah.
Couldn't sleep. They couldn't give me anything for those because I was pregnant. But mainly the fear was my baby.
That was your baby. So you did what was best for your baby? Right. Did you miss any doses, or you took it straight through?
I took it straight through. I may have accidentally missed by puking it up, but I wasn't going to do it again.
So then you went into labor, and how did that go at the hospital?
It was actually really decent at the hospital, because sure, I heard of women having times like bad experiences with doctors, but I mean, I only had a kid 2 years ago, so really it's gotten a lot better since way back then, I guess.
Right.
Like, their nurses are more nicer.
Did they support you in the bottle feeding part?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So were you part of the formula program?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you're excited
That
about that.
was a blessing. Oh, it really was. It took a lot off the soul.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just knowing that my baby gets the nutrients and stuff. It was good.
Okay. That's good. So what are you doing currently, or how are you helping other persons living with HIV?
I'm a peer mentor now at Access Place, and I make a lot of toast. We have an outreach, and we feed people there, and I talk to them about, they ask me about how I felt about my diagnosis and pregnancy and all that. And I just feel blessed that I'm able to I'm still here to talk to people. And I just believe that, I hope that they can find faith and hope in themselves, that anybody can change. Yes.
And when you're talking specifically to pregnant women, how do you counsel pregnant women that are living with HIV?
Well, to be honest, I've only talked to maybe 3. And all I really do is just tell them what I went through and ask if they're going through the same thing, what's the word? Experiences, kind of, I guess. And that's pretty much it. And just give them what I know.
I think you can see future, can't you, Mary? Can you tell me what do you see in your future? Do you have goals? What are your goals?
My goals now are to go back to school. I really want to be an outreach worker. I love people. I believe anybody can change their lifestyle, but you can't change. People say you can't change who you are, but some of the things you can change, the things you don't like.
Good. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Mary?
No.
No, you're good.
I'm good.
Okay. I just want to say that was very special, and thank you for sharing with us, Mary. And I know it was difficult. It was very difficult for Mary. She was a bit stressed out this morning, so we're glad to be able to get you to be the first speaker this afternoon. Now you can sit back and relax while Barb and Nicole do a little bit more sweating. Okay.
Okay.
So.